he made a record about me, and he was in New York, and nobody from New York is really, they talk it, man, but all them companies don't really hold it down. And what happened was, you know what I mean, he was in my town, so, you know, me and my crew was there, so we stepped it him and Suge, and, you know, we wanted them to tell us what was up, you know what I mean, because we like this guy's music, but he can't be in my town dissing me. Right. So what happened was we went to him and stepped to him, and the brother was like, nah, I'm from New York, man, me and you, Nas, we like this, don't never let nothing come between us. And he told me that I'm going to hear a lot of things that he said about me, and he's going to hear a lot of things that I said about him, but put it past us, and we powerful people, and let's move ahead. And we shook hands and said we'll talk on a later note. 3 days later, he was gone, and we never got a chance to really talk.
Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news. Yo, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Full-time dads, salute. Part-time dads, respect. Part-time if you are in an unfortunate situation or you at work all the time or what have you, man. Salute to you as well. If you in a kid's life as the father figure, I don't care if you an uncle, I don't care if you a teacher, whatever you are, man. If you in a kid's life and you are a father figure in his life, happy Father's Day to you as well. Now, here at Celeb Source, we operate as a team, all right? And as a unit, we generally will have conversations every now and then about the greatest rapper or favorite rapper. Now, there's a distinction between the two. Now, when it comes down to the greatest rapper in our books, toss-up goes between Rakim and Tupac. And when it comes down to favorite rapper, the toss-up is between Jay-Z and Nas. Now, my particular favorite artist of all time is unquestionably, without a doubt, Nasty Nas. I love the man. I think he's incredible. I loved him way back since his first album, and even a little bit before that when he premiered on that Live at the Barbecue. That joint was it was super explicit, but it was insane. All right, he was a savage back then. He's a savage back now. So here we're gonna hit you with a couple of facts concerning Nas. Some of these facts you might know, some of these facts you might not know. If we are wrong about any of these facts, we'll only take correction from Nas himself. All right, so if we got anything wrong, man, I got no problem with correcting that wrong. Just make sure you hit up Nas and tell him to, hit us up in the comments or what have you, man. We're always down for an interview. You know that. Now, we want to make sure we get to the facts. So here's fact number one for you. Now, Nas's full name is Nasir bin Olu Dara Jones. He's named after his father. Now, his father's name was Olu Dara Jones. He's a jazz musician. All right. Now, he was named after he traveled to Nigeria and was given the name Oludara from a Yoruba priest. Okay. Now, Oludara means God is good in Yoruba. So Nas is named after his father. In fact, that's what the bin in Nasir bin Oludara Jones means. Bin means son of. All right, that's one fact, but man, that was a freebie. All right, here's another fact that you might not know. Nas was offered and declined an audition for the lead role in the movie Save the Last Dance. Wow, I know most of us are very thankful that he declined that role. I want you to take a look at the trailer after this video is over. Take a look at the trailer of Save the Last Dance and substitute Nas's face for the lead black guy in that movie, and then collectively thank Nas for rejecting that role. Now, here's another fact that you may not know. Nas had a performance when he performed the song Major Look in Miami, and he proceeded to create a picture or a painting on stage. And when he made that painting, folks started bidding on the painting. One person threw out $6,000. Someone else won the bid at $14,000. And Nas sold that painting, auctioned off his one and only painting at $14,000. He already stated that he's not quite the artist. So, he's not used to making ill pieces of works of art with a paintbrush. But you give him a pen and you know how he gets down. Now, here's another fact. Large Professor, who played a role in Nas's first album, would bring Nas to studio sessions during the making of Eric B. and Rakim's let the rhythm hit him. And to me, that makes complete sense. My favorite artist would be in the studio sessions with who to me is the greatest rapper of all time, of course. Now here's another crazy fact. Russell Simmons thought that Illmatic, Nas's first debut album, which was a classic, Russell Simmons thought that Illmatic would be a commercial flop and that Nas sounded like Cool G Rap. Now, Cool G Rap is a legend, don't get me wrong, but Nas and Cool G Rap are leagues different, alright? Now, here's another fact that is rather unusual. I would have never have guessed it, but take this one. According to two other founders of the firm, the clique that Nas helped found, right? Poke and Tone. They stated that 50 Cent was briefly in Nas's firm crew, but he left it after things didn't work out. What? Can you imagine? 50 Cent was not able to get along with Nas and his crew? No. Yeah, for real. Now, I know that if I say, yo, man, what movie did Nas star in? And you gonna tell me the right movie? You gonna say, oh man, he was in Belly. Well, get this. To get the stars amped up for the movie, Hype Williams. Now, mind you, this is a movie that starred Nas, DMX, Method Man was in the cut, and there may have been a few other artists, but those are the three standouts that I can remember off the top of my head. Now, to get the stars amped up for the role, Hype Williams would have Nas, DMX, and some of the other actors run around the building during the filming of the movie Belly. And that was to get them amped up. You mean to tell me that DMX didn't come on set already at 10? Come on now. If you heard Nas's albums, his first album, many other albums after that, you'll hear references to someone by the name of Ill Will. Now, Ill Will William was a childhood friend that Nas had. It was one of his childhood best friends, and that best friend was murdered when they were teenagers. Now, here's another fact concerning Ill Will. Please fact check me if I'm wrong, Nas. Ill Will introduced Nas to Chinese food by telling him to stick his plate out the window and dropping the food onto his plate from an apartment above him. Yo, that's kind of crazy, right? But I mean, yo, man, folks is human, okay? Illmatic was so heavily bootlegged that MC Search claims they found a garage with 60,000 copies of bootlegged versions of the Illmatic album before the album actually released. Who bootlegs the classic Illmatic and doesn't go out their way to cop that album? All right, here's another fact. Everybody, if I say, yo, man, who was Nas married to? Most people are going to know that Nas was married to the artist by the name of Khalees, who had that hit song Milkshake. Now, Khalees met Nas at an after party that Puff Daddy had, or Diddy, whatever you want to call him. I call him Puff Daddy, man. That's what I knew him as, all right? Nas met Khalees at Puff Daddy's after party. Now, here's the other interesting fact about this particular meetup, all right? Evidently, Nas's father, who was a jazz musician, also worked with Khalees's father, who was also a jazz musician. Now, tell me that ain't strange. Now, here's another strange piece of fact, all right? According to Khalees, the rapper initially kind of like acted a little bit shy when they first met up with each other, okay? And then, quote, this is what she says. She says, quote, everyone moves out of the way and Nas stands up and I put my hand out and I'm like, hey, I'm Khalees. And he goes, who? So she says at that point, she's crawling back into her hole and he's like, wait, huh? What's your name? And she says again that her name is Khalees, and he's like, oh, well, that's great because I've been waiting to make you my wife all these years. Close quote. Turning on the charm, and you know how that whole thing played out. They wound up getting married shortly after that. Now, here is another fact that you may not have known. We all know that Nas was involved in the great East-West beef back in the days when it comes down to Tupac and the whole 9 yards. Now, when Tupac made a diss track that involved Nas, because Nas looked to Tupac as a legend, Nas was extremely hurt at the song Against All Odds when Tupac threw a diss out to him. In fact, he was so hurt that he shed a tear. All right. And of course, that could be completely understood when someone that you, I don't even want to say look up to, but somebody that you could idolize or somebody that you consider is legendary, disses you on record. And I guess what hurt most about it is that they patched up their differences, and before Tupac could make any kind of an edit, he was killed approximately 3 days later. All right. Here's another fact. What'd I tell you? I told you that the man was 46 years old, right? Yeah, I know. But you look at him like, wait. But he looks like he's in his late 20s. Yeah, no doubt. And his birthday is September 14th. So I know a lot of folks out there are like, oh, that mean he a Virgo. No, that doesn't mean he a Virgo. That means he's 47, all right? I don't believe in astrology. Now, here's another fact that you may not have known about the artist, okay? Nasty Nas's net worth has been listed in 2020 as $70 million. All right? Now, just to put this in perspective, if you made $50,000 every day for the next 3 years, you would not hit that $70 million mark. Let me give you a little bit more perspective. All right? If you made $19,000 every day for the next 10 years, you still wouldn't hit Nas's net worth. All right? Now, all my mathematicians out there, hopefully I did my mother proud. Remember last time when I tried to do her proud and I failed her. Just double check me, man, and see if I did my mother proud. All right? Now, here's another piece of fact that you may not have known about Nas, the legend. Okay? According to Snoop, Pac and Nas confronted each other. And he said it was like in Central Park or Bryant Park or something to that effect. All right? Now, Snoop says Central Park. According to Snoop, Pac and Snoop walked up to Nas, who had about 100 goons with him. And Pac leaned into Nas and said, yo, man, you know, it's all good between us, man. You know, you got love for me, I got love for you, but I'm gonna let you know right now, I got a record that's coming out. And my record has a lot of junk that I say about you and about a bunch of other New York rappers. But you ain't gonna say nothing about it. And Nas was like, yo, man, I got love for you, Pac. And Nas had about 100 goons behind them now, this whole time, right? They shook hands, leaned into each other, and Nas gave his goons the look like, nah, don't do it. Don't do anything. It's all good. Didn't give him the green light. And Pac walked away and told Snoop, yeah, he was scared. See, he was scared. Meanwhile, Snoop was looking at Pac like, you have no idea what you just avoided, making Nas look like the tough guy in the situation. And anybody knows that when someone handles a situation the way Nas did, it doesn't just make you look like the tough guy. You the tough guy in the situation, all right? Hands down. Now, here's another interesting fact. DJ Envy stated that when he was shopping around his mixtape, he accidentally bumped into Nas. Now, when he bumped into Nas, he was starstruck. He was like, oh, man, yo, I want you. He wanted to let him listen to his mixtape. He was like, yo, man, I want you to listen to my mixtape. And he started reaching in his bag, right? Now, when he reached in his bag, he's looking down in his bag for the mixtape. When he pulls the mixtape out of his bag, he sees that Nas has a gun pointed at him. And Nas is like, yo, what you got for me, man? What you got for me? You got something for me? What you got for me? And DJ Envy said he dropped the bag and he was like, nah, it's just a mixtape, dog. It's just a mixtape. And Nas was like, all right, and took the mixtape. All right. Now, here's the last little thing I'm gonna give you, and this is one of the strangest stories I've heard in a long time. All right. Nas is at a club. Okay. The club is somewhat of a movie premiere for the movie Shaft. All right. Celebrities are in there. Nas is in there. Okay. Now, Nas sees a major celebrity at the time, Grace Jones. He's starstruck. He's like, oh my gosh, that's Grace Jones over there. Okay. He's got a cup of alcohol in his hand or what have you. His drink is in his hand. Grace Jones bumps Nas's cup of drink, and he spills a little bit of his drink on her arm and on his sleeve. Grace Jones turns around, sees the liquid on her arm, and proceeds to lick her own arm. Now, Nas states at this time he was starstruck, he was kind of turned on. It's Grace Jones, all right? And it was a moving experience. While he's watching Grace Jones lick her own arm, Wesley Snipes comes from behind him and pushes him, okay? Pushes him rather hard. Now, Nas, after he gets pushed, he looks at Wesley Snipes and he's like, oh shoot, this is Blade, and Blade just pushed me. And I don't know how this fight's about to play out because that's Blade. He's probably gonna do something crazy on me, right? So Nas pushes Wesley Snipes back and tells him, yo, you're not gonna get out of this club alive, after Wesley Snipes proceeds to ask him if he's a rapper or a scientist. Now, this is something that I would expect to happen if I was high as a kite and had no clue which way was up or down, for Wesley Snipes to push me and ask me, am I a rapper or a scientist? It's just so, whatever the case may be. Wesley Snipes asks him that question. Nas's response is, yo, you're not gonna get out of this club alive. And Wesley Snipes walks off. Strange. I know. Yo, let us know what you think in the comments below. If I missed a strange fact, please post that fact in a comment. If I got any of these facts wrong, please hit up Nas. Let us know. Let him know to check us. Please correct us so that we can make the edit. All right, but it gotta come from Nas, man. Okay. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news.